Hi, this is a quick product tour for NonRivalData. Before we start, let's have a look at the basic components of our system. There are two types of users in our system. One are the consumers who will be sharing their data with us in our system. The second will be the corporate users who will be using our system to actually buy the users' data. Users can interact with our system both with smartphone applications as well as the web application. However, the corporate user can only access our system through the web application. The data is collected through the web browser applications known as the extensions. We'll now see how we can install all the parts available on our system and how the users can sign up and log into our system to interact with it. Our website is available at nonrivaldata.com. You can see this is a product page that details all the information about our platform, how it works, and what are the pros and cons of using our system. We can sign up into our system by clicking join now. If we register as a merchant and provide all the information required, we'll be able to sign up into the system. We'll receive a verification email from the system that we will have to verify in order to log into the system. You see, we just received a verification email from our system that we can use to verify our account. Now we can use our credentials to just log into the system. This will open up a corporate account and the corporate's wallet. On the first tab here, we see all the data files that are available for this merchant to purchase. And on the other hand, we will see if this user makes any transactions on our system to buy those data files. Now we'll see that how these files were generated by our system and how the data was gathered from the users through our system. The same procedure can be followed to register as a user, and after providing the information, the user will be sent a verification email, and after the verification, the user will be able to log into the system. After putting all the information that is required, we can now sign up. This will send a verification email to the provided email address, and now we will be able to verify our email through that link. We just received the verification email, and once we click on the link, the account will be verified, and now we'll be able to log into the system as a consumer. Once the user signs in, there are three tabs into the wallet's dashboard. The first tab is the rewards tab. This will show the rewards that the user has collected once the user's data has been sold to any of the corporate users. The transactions tab will show all the data files that has been transacted over the blockchain that includes this user's data and the status of those files, if they are being sold or have been sold to any of the corporate users. All the information will be detailed here. In the extensions tab, the user will be able to see the status of their extensions in different browsers. We see on the desktop browsers, we can install the extension to all the 4 browsers you can see here. However, on the mobile end, we can only install our browser extensions to these 2 browsers only. So if the user wants to actually allow us to gather the browsing history and all the browsing data, and he wants it to be available for purchase for all the corporate accounts, he will have to install the browser extension into that specific browser and sign into the extension. Once he clicks on the extension button, the page of the Google Web Store or the Chrome Web Store will open that he can use to install the extension with just one click. Once the extension has been added to Chrome or any other browser, the user just has to use the same credentials that he just used to sign up for the system to now sign in to the extension. Now, it's just very simple front end for this extension. He just needs to sign in, and he has an option to actually allow the extension to capture the data or stop it at any time. Once he turns this switch off, the browser extension will not capture data anymore. If the user wants the extension to capture the data, he'll have to turn on this switch. Now the web browsing data and the browsing history is being captured by the extension and is being stored on our secure servers. As we have just created this user, so our extension or system has not captured any data browsing history from this user, so there are no rewards or transactions available for this user. So for the sake of this demo, we will log into a test account of our own that will have a lot of data that has been sold by that user, and we'll be able to show you the reward section and the transaction sections of this dashboard. One thing that I would like to mention here is that in the extensions tab, as you can see now that we have installed the Chrome extension, the user can see on this dashboard that how many extensions on which browser he has installed the extension, and his data is being captured by those browsers. He can uninstall those extensions at any time or stop the data capture from that switch that we just saw. So this is another way that user can monitor the data capturing. Now let's just use a test account that we have, that is an older account, and a lot of this user's data has been captured by our extension and it has been sold through our system to some of the corporate accounts, and we'll see how it affects the user's dashboard and how he can see all that information here. After logging in, the first thing that we see is the rewards tab and all the transactions that has been performed by these corporate accounts to buy this user's data. Let's just quickly switch the transactions tab. Now we'll see that these are all the files that has been transacted over the blockchain, and these files include an eligible amount of this user's data that is ready to be sold or has been sold. So this is one of the files that has been sold to a merchant or a corporate user. This is just the basic information for the file. This shows that how many users are included in this file, and what is the session of the file, the data that is included in the file. So normally our system captures data into the a file for 1 week only. So after a file is created and transacted over the blockchain, that is done every day by our system, so that all the files are readily available for a corporate account to buy. This file was created today, and hasn't been sold to any of the corporate accounts. That's why it shows that it's available. But this file included this user's data and has been sold. Now we can see the transaction over the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain, that was created against this specific file. That transaction will include a hashing function, or actually a hash of this file, that will make sure that once the file has been sold, that the corporate user will be able to compare the hashes that was mentioned on the blockchain, and by creating a hash of his own from that file, to actually make a comparison if the data that we showed here, so we sold the exact same file, or did we make any changes. So this will actually create an environment of trust because of the transaction on the blockchain. With this link we can go to the Robston testnet. This is actually this page shows all the details that are included in that blockchain transaction that was created against that file. Now, so what happens when, let's say, this file was sold to one of the corporate accounts, and if, let's suppose, for the sake of this demo, that the price that this file was sold for was $500, and there were 4 users in that particular file. So we will just divide all the amount of this transaction to all the users minus the fee of a NonRivalData. Now this page shows actually the rewards that this user has collected and are grouped by the merchants that have purchased their data. We can look into this merchant. This merchant has bought 3 different files that included the data of this customer, and all of these transactions can be viewed over the Ethereum blockchain scanner that will show all the transactional information as well as the file hash, to make sure that all the details of a transaction and a file are over the blockchain, so the integrity of that information is not compromised. Let me quickly clarify the 2 types of transactions that happen over the blockchain. So our system actually gradually collects the data from the users over the 24 hours period of time, and after every 24 hours each user's data is sent to our secured servers and are collected and cleaned and are grouped into a data file. Now that data file is then made into a hash, and that hash is included to the transaction that is performed over the blockchain, to make sure that this was the file that was available to purchase by the corporate accounts. And obviously none of the information over the blockchain can be changed, and so that will be secured. Now that is shown actually in the transactions tab, all the transactions that were made against a file creation, to actually make sure that the integrity of that file, the data in that file is not lost. Now in the rewards tab in a user's profile, these are the transactions that we can go to the Etherscan to view on Ethereum are different. These are the transactions that were made by a merchant in order to purchase this specific file. This has been shown into the user's dashboard so that he can know and view this transaction over the blockchain to make sure that that file was sold for a specific amount and he has been rewarded according to that same percentage. Let's now move on to the merchant's accounts and see how the information will be displayed on the corporate accounts or the merchant accounts dashboards, and how they will use our system to actually interact with that information. So now this is the merchant's account, the dashboard that we just created. These are in the data tab, these are all the information regarding the files that are actually available for purchase. This merchant can see a basic summary over the dashboard before actually buying a file. For example, this file was created on this date, and it has this much of user activities, and it includes 6 total users. As we just discussed in the user's profile about the feature of file hash to actually make the comparison that the data we show on the website, and that is actually downloaded by the merchant if they are the same or not. Now this transaction hash is the same transaction that was created over the blockchain that included this file hash to make sure that these files are available for all the corporate accounts to purchase. This is fairly simple. You can use any of these options to actually buy this file. So let's use sandbox account to make a purchase. We have now seen all the features and functions available on our web portal for both of the users, and how the consumers can download and install an extension, and how they can allow our system to capture their browsing history and data, and how the file is created for the corporate accounts or the corporate merchants, and how they can also download that file and make a comparison to make sure that all the details that are available on our system they actually match with what they have received. Now everything is transacted over the blockchain, Ethereum blockchain, and we have written the smart contracts for our system that actually create all these transactions after checking out all the minute details that are being provided to them. So that smart contract is also deployed over the blockchain, and it cannot be changed or tailored after they have been deployed in any sense of the word. So they're secured, and that actually makes all these transactions pretty secure. One thing that is left is the mobile applications, the smartphone applications that is available for the consumer to access their dashboards. That is pretty simple, I guess. You can just use, for example, I'm on Android Play Store right now. If I search for the NonRivalData, I will have this application. I can just install it, and after the installation, I can just use my credentials to log in. Or if I want to sign up from this application, I can do that as well from the application. After signing up, the users or the consumers can just sign in and access all the information that is readily available over their dashboards about all the transactions and all the files that are available with their data included in them. After we have installed the application, we can just open the application and log in using our credentials with the account we just created. So I just logged into my demo account that includes all these information. Now we just saw a few minutes back that how we can use the corporate merchants account to buy a specific data file. Now after the data file has been purchased by the corporate user, all the users that have their data in that specific file will be given a reward that is actually the percentage of the amount that the file was sold against. So here in the reward transactions, we can see all the rewards that this user has collected. Now this is the newest addition in this list that we actually just performed this transaction from the merchant account we just created. We can also see this transaction on the user account that we created before on the web portal as well. So if we just refresh the page, we will see another addition. Okay, it requires logging in for a few minutes again. Now this is the newest addition that we saw over the mobile application and rewards tab, and we will see the same information of the transaction that was made by the specific corporate merchant to buy this specific file, and this is the session, and we can also see the transaction over the blockchain. This is the mobile application, and it also has the same information that a user has access to over the web interface. These are all the merchants grouped by the files they have created. The user can also see the transaction. Now this was the file, the first one that was created with the file ID 73, and it was just sold. Now under the extensions tab, we can see that this user, as this is an old user, and this is installed only the Mozilla Firefox extension, and it says that it's installed. I mean, there are other small features, like they can update their profiles from here, update their profile pictures, and log out of their application, and all the information about the blockchain transactions as well. One thing that we are now in the process of development is this redeem function. Currently it takes just the account information of that specific user, If the user wants to redeem all of their rewards that can be shown here, um, under the available balance, if they want to redeem those for all the transactions, they can just put their account information, and will actually transfer the funds to them. But we are actually developing a system and trying to build an automated transfer system, so that all the amount or the funds that are available in their wallets can readily be transferred to their bank accounts directly. This will be added into our system in the next few updates. So guys, this is it from our side, as far as this demo goes. If you have any questions or you would like our help in order to understand the system in more detail, please reach us out at support@nonrivaldata.com, and we will be more than happy to help. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.